What's up, guys? Welcome back to ESL One Hamburg. South American Qualifiers. This is Game 3, currently tied up 1-1 as Luccini take on Midas Club Derrota. I'm Mike Loris, going to be joined again by General Jivicus as we are going to see if Luccini can get on their game, because Game 2 was a disaster of epic proportions. It just was messed up in so many different ways, but either way, we're here right now, and we have Shaker first pick for Midas Club. That worked out pretty well, I guess. And Luccini go for a silencer first pick, which is odd to say the least. I like the hero, but I do think you need more of a reason to pick this guy up, especially first phase. Hello?
Is that enough synergy yet, do you think? Magnus and Silencer together?
It's not about synergy as much as
There's nothing to counter,
an answer.
right?
Like, you don't really need to work with your allies to make Silencer work. I mean, if you have a Bat Rider or a Faceless Void or I guess a Magnus, like, yeah, sure, it gets better, but I feel like in order to make that call to pick this hero, you need to be countering something. Like, you need to be stopping the enemy's initiation. Shaker, Rubik, that's fine for Midas Club, but it does seem like Luccini are going to go a little bit more back towards Game 1, where Sword had an okay Magnus game. Landed a couple of good RPs, but overall the lane control was not really him winning the lanes as much as Jericho's rotations.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a pretty good time on the Magnus, even with his connects and his lag and whatever. He did manage to find people. Did get, I think, three-man RPs and one 4-man RP. I mean, do you think Silencer is going to be position 5 or maybe in the core role?
I have not seen a Silencer core in months. Probably months. I mean, you first of all don't really want to do that initially because he's so much better as a support. And also, you don't really want to play Silencer core with a Magnus because Empower is like just going to fizzle. It won't do anything with Silencer. So odds are it's going to be that laning, control-y Silencer in the early stages. Bloodseeker, Anti-Mage, both going to get kicked out to try to prevent those Magnus combos that we saw in Game 1. But they can very easily pick up a Lifestealer and should be pretty happy to do so here. Or, you know, a Troll, a very frequently seen pick with the Magnus. They certainly do have their options, but on the Midas Club side, Shaker, they're expecting it to be a core with a Rubik. AA is still in. That could be pretty potent.
Well, there's the Bounty Hunter. They're going after the economy game again. With that track gold.
No Lich this time, though. So, as far as slowing down the enemies, it's going to have to come from these rotations. Bounty Hunter, though, with...
banned out the Lich themselves, so...
Yeah, I mean, you got to make sure that hero is going to be taken out since they didn't have first pick. But Luccini, now knowing that the mid lane is an Invoker... I mean, this is an Invoker game with a Rubik and a Shaker where you can set up for some pretty nice Sunstrikes. They were mediocre Sunstrikes in the last game. Lots that hit for kills, and lots that were just nowhere near. So, you know, on average, I suppose it was fine. But this is really dangerous territory for Invoker. He will need some babysitting because he's going to go up against already a pretty harsh matchup with a Bounty Hunter in play. This seems a little bit familiar here, this game plan of Luccini.
Yeah, I favor Luccini at the moment with what's on the table. Does Night Stalker change the equation too much here? First night, I mean he does have the silence, so maybe they can go on Quap at first night. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's enough yet. As far as cores for Luccini Gaming to round this out for their position 1, like a Sven, or what did you say it was? Troll Warlord, maybe?
Troll, Lifestealer, probably some of the bigger ones with the Magnus.
Yeah, Lifestealer's still there.
Yeah, Sven is reasonable, I'd say. You can always go for something crazy like a PA. Love me some PA Magnus.
That's South American PA is pretty popular as well, man.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if this is necessarily the game for it. I mean, again, they have a lot of options. This Night Stalker certainly is going to help this mid lane a lot with the Invoker versus that Quap. Just, you can't really easily push back a Queen of Pain, but at least you'll have a better hero than Rubik in order to do that. So the Queen of Pain is not going to have a completely free time, and if it is going to come down to a slugfest, Queen of Pain, Bounty Hunter versus Invoker, Night Stalker, the Bounty Hunter can't really contribute all that much to that strat. Troll Warlord and Weaver will be the ones to get the boot. Midas Club, the pool of carries is not really all that deep right now. I don't really think they could cheese out anything, so it should just be like the safest carry.
I don't know, like a Void or something would be quite nice, or maybe even a Luna.
Yeah, I think those type of heroes. You do want to have a hero that is going to protect themselves eventually up against Global Silence. Usually that's going to be Manta style, so that doesn't really narrow it down all that much. They can go for a Terrorblade, and that could be pretty difficult for Luccini to actually deal with. Quap has some decent magic damage, no one else really does.
They played the Terrorblade the first game, though, and it was pretty... I mean, they got some Sunders, and they were extremely farmed. That's not going to be an issue. Maybe that's what they're thinking, actually, with the Anti-Mage ban out there, and the Troll ban out, and the Bloodseeker ban out. Maybe it is going to be Terror.
They are going to have a safe lane to respond to this Luccini.
That will be the Sven.
That's not bad. BKB, also a pretty good way of getting rid of that Global Silence from that safe lane. Stun combos are real on that top lane. Sven Rubik, though, will struggle to kill off a Magnus, as Sven doesn't really have all that much damage in lane. Just looking at his build early on, 1 point hammer, maxed out cleave, 1 point Warcry, like that doesn't actually help you kill a Magnus, so that is a lane that Luccini can pretty hotly contest. I don't really think this Sven is going to change all that much for Luccini, except for now they won't pick up Phantom Lancer. That probably wasn't super likely to happen either. Juggernaut also is no longer something that they really want to be dealing with coming out from their own safe lane. Does seem like PA is looking better and better, right?
Yeah, man, I think the PA is a pretty good pick here. Like, they can't get the Sven, Sven's gone. What counters Sven in a man fight? Well, not much, but
Faceless Void.
It'll be the Faceless Void, yeah. I mean, I like it. I liked Faceless Void a lot better for Midas than for Luccini Gaming. I mean, it's still, they got the Quaps, so good combination there. Silencer again, good combo. The Magnus not so much, but I mean, he does give him the Empower, which will allow Faceless Void to even do stacks and stuff. So they can get that guy online pretty quickly. I don't know. They got the Earthshaker, man. I don't know. This is going to be a tough game, I think.
Yeah, the Void.
I'm going to give it to Luccini. I think they have the edge. I think.
The Void certainly seems like it has some strengths. It certainly has its weaknesses as well. Like the styles of control that Midas have, exactly the styles of control you want to deal with the Faceless Void. Just block his terrain off. Make sure you have those stuns. Extra armor from the Sven. I mean, there may be a Diffusal Blade coming out from the Faceless Void to try to get around that. But for sure, the Faceless Void, even if he does get a decent amount of farm, is going to have to be reliant on his allies to give him a good time to try to set up for that. So just that kind of insecurity in the lanes is going to make me give my edge at least a little bit more towards Midas Club. Especially after that last game, Luccini played terribly. So just off of that, like, I'm still scarred, man. I'm not going to favor them in this game because that was just that bad. So we'll see if they can get back to their game 1 roots where things were a little bit cleaner right now. It looks like we're going to have exactly the lanes that you would be expecting. We did see a good amount of rotations from Jericho's Bounty Hunter, and that was very successful in game 1. Sentry check, there's 1, 2 on the Night Stalker and Rubik of the Midas Club side. So Jericho, though he would love to go for the Invoker and kind of camp out his lane, let's see if that's actually going to happen.
30 seconds to battle.
Well, he's holding position there by Roche.
He's going to try to jack this Bounty Rune. Timings are kind of thin here, simply because level 1 Invis on Bounty Hunter doesn't last for too long. You know you're going up against a Shaker, so things might turn sour really quickly. He does have another Invis right now, is going to back off. Yeah, it's way too late. A couple of Shadow Walks used there to do absolutely nothing, and it will be a 1-for-1 Bounty Rune split, pretty much as even as it can get. But top lane, Silencer taking care of the Void. Team fight definitely is in favor of the Luccini side if they can find their initiation off. Which, with the Blink Magnus, with the Faceless Void, it's not impossible. It's not the easiest thing to do either. Oh, The Bounty Hunter poked at the Night Stalker, and as soon as he did, the Courier made a run for it. Jericho may have missed his opportunity for a Courier snipe there.
Yeah, that was
Although it
unfortunate
seems like they're
timing.
still
He chose to throw that damage in. I mean, yeah, he obviously just wants to say hello to the Night Stalker. But yeah, I mean, the Courier was like right there at tier 1 at the time. So.
And this is what Night Stalker does best. He is just burning his entire mana pool. Does have one more clarity, just to make sure the Queen of Pain's life is a little bit difficult, and get the Invoker a couple of those level 1 CS, which is not easy to do as Invoker. Your base damage just isn't really all that high, especially when you compare it to the Queen of Pain. So, yeah, pretty standard Night Stalker fare, and Jericho is not going to be able to touch that lane. Sentry up on the high ground will keep the Invoker perfectly safe. Let's see what Sword can do on this bottom lane. Once again, has opted for level 1 Skewer. It seems like he just prefers this build. Again, I'm not really sure if he's able to get anything done with it. Maybe Skewer back Yaki or Skewer towards Rubik. Well, the telekinesis is already there as a sentry has been deployed.
I think he relies on it as
dropped, and Jericho will clear it. So now he has full access to this bottom lane. But he doesn't really have a useful hero to help him out here because, again, what is Skewer actually going to do here? How are you going to land a Skewer on these heroes?
It's a triple wave though. Triple range creeps under there. He's certainly going to get some XP if nothing else.
They get a bash on the Shaker, and that's going to get them the kill. I'm pretty sure even without the bash, that would have been very, very close to a kill, if not that kill. But yeah, Shaker just using Fissure kind of aggressively, turns out, is not the move when you're going up against these heroes at melee range already. So Shaker going to go down, and that is pretty bad for the Shaker, honestly. Like, he is not a hero that can afford to lose intelligence. And there was a silencer involved in that, so that's a +2 int swing there. But over in the mid lane, you can see Jamari. Even with that Night Stalker chilling in that mid lane for a little while, even now with Illusion Rune and Forge Spirit, still the Queen of Pain, doing very well for herself. This is just how the matchup works. Like, as Invoker, you're expected to fall behind and then recover with Midas.
Yeah, absolutely. Quap will dominate the Invoker mid if he's not constantly that. The only reason it was an issue last game was the Lich sitting there sapping with Sacrifice.
And Queen of Pain still has the Night Stalker in their sights. We do have the Rubik. Thinking about going for a little bit of a steal here. Sword does have 2-point Shockwave and a Skewer, although the Telekinesis will slow him down. They're just battling over this stack instead of CSing. So weird, but ultimately, you know, experience will be split. I want to say the Sven got most of it, although I wasn't really paying attention at the very tail end of that. But either way, it's going to be still this Magnus getting quite a bit here. Not able to severely threaten him until this Night Stalker comes in nighttime. Still 30 seconds off till that. So Sword now with the Soul Ring, gonna have those shockwaves flowing out real easy.
Yeah, he picked up the Soul Ring again. Just seems to be what he gets every time. I mean, why not? I think it gives you a nice regen, gives you that mana option.
Oof. Had a close brush with death there for the Bounty Hunter. He was able to escape that Sunstrike. Jamari pushed the Invoker, seeing that Sunstrike, and did a lot of damage with the salve. Will be able to get back up to full HP, no big deal. So a couple hits being traded back and forth. And this lane is looking pretty nice for Sword, and for the Shaker, he was just pushed out. Like, he can't really afford to get close here. The Faceless Void has the bash levels coming up, has Power Treads on, no, not Power Treads, that's a Midas on the way. They're going to skewer back, or at least try to skewer back someone. A couple of right clicks onto Sword, not quite going to be enough to get the kill. Soul Ring Shockwave will kill off Where are you going, Magnus? I don't know why he ran right past the Night Stalker there. He has no more skewer, and now I think he's just dead. If he is actually spotted, gets juked though. Yaki can't find the kill now. There's no Shuriken on the Bounty Hunter. They can't get that kill. Can they kill off the Silencer? Will anyone die here? Silencer into the trees. Should be cut. Oh, he's just struggling to leave up against this Sven. He's dead here. For sure, he's dead. That was an absolute mess from the Luccini side. I'm not really sure why they chased that with the Magnus. That put them in such a bad spot.
Yep, straight up failed rotation. Cost them really badly there. The actual, well, it's only 200 gold, 150 XP for the actual kill on the Silencer, but Still your silencer down.
Mag is going to be able to shrine up, stick around in the lane a little while longer. Experience again coming pretty rapidly for him. Shaker, though, up on the top lane off of that rotation out from the silencer up against the Void. Should be doing just fine. At the very least, being able to get some experience himself. But bottom lane, Sentry once again dodged by Jericho, looking for these Rubik opportunities, but Magnus level 4 can't really help him out all that much. Doesn't have an Invoker on his own side to try to help him out either. Invoker, speaking of, is being daggered and harassed. Curse kind of come out. There's a lot of dot on the Invoker, but it's nowhere near the damage. The Silencer walks by, takes 2 tower shots, and now is in the middle of nowhere, so he's just going to die. That was not the move.
No, I mean, that's 2 deaths in the last, well, less than a minute, really.
Not that hard to walk around the tower's range. It's not that hard nowadays. They're going to set up, though, for Isonic on this bottom lane. Telekinesis will slow down the Magnus. Still, he has Skewer and level 3 Shockwave. I think they only need the Shockwave. They're going to clump him up, and Shockwave is going to miss? Are you kidding me? Well, he's still going to get the kill for the team. That's going to force them to go in further for the dive, costing them 2 heroes, maybe even a third, as the Sunstrike does miss. The Night Stalker will not let this Silencer escape, though, and how is this happening? You're a Night Stalker, bro. There we go. Finally, we'll get the kill on the Silencer. How the hell did that Shockwave miss? Why did they even skewer forward there? Sword was a little bit too excited, I guess, but this is still nighttime. They didn't see the Night Stalker rotate in. They don't have any vision wards in the area. Up towards top lane, Chronosphere, not quite perfect there from the Faceless Void. Now Shaker's a chance to maybe get out with an Enchant Totem. Nah, he's still going to go down on top. That's Chronosphere used, and Faceless Void with his Hand of Midas is going to be rolling in the dough, still free farming up towards top lane. Jamari very similarly over in mid.
First Chrono, just quite happily picking off that Earthshaker. It's going to hold him back enough. Getting his level 5. His level 6 even.
Jamari's feeling himself over in the mid lane, but he is being lured in by the Invoker. Here comes the stuns. Tries to blink out. Fissure is there with the Telekinesis. Jamari just needed a couple of seconds to blink, scream, Sonic Wave. Would have had just enough mana to do that. And over in the meantime, Silencer, wandering around with no vision during nighttime, again gets picked off. I mean, Silencer can't really do that much else, just sitting with the Faceless Void, chilling near him. I guess you could handle pulls and whatnot, but wandering around like that as a Silencer is a terrible idea.
I mean, hey, look at it this way. If the Night Stalker is too busy murdering the Silencer, he's not getting anything done on the map.
I don't know. Murdering the Silencer sounds like getting something done.
It's a good death.
Oh, jump in. Sonic Wave. That's what the Quap was looking for earlier. Just needed a little bit more in the way of cooldowns, I believe, and ended up getting caught. A quick blink, scream, Sonic Wave on the Invoker. Easy kill for Jamari. Unfortunately, Jericho was too far away to witness that, so no experience for him. We do have the fabled one-man smoke of Silencer roaming down towards bottom lane. Sword playing some games with the RP, so Yaki's going to be like, oh, there's no way he's going to RP me now. This is perfectly safe to stick around. He's not that healthy. He does have this mask, so he's getting a little bit of health back. And Silencer's going to walk in tower range and get lifted up, and then will promptly die. Okay, Shockwave will land onto Yaki as they are going to skewer out of there. Hammer coming back up in a couple seconds. Jericho's arrival is going to guarantee Magnus a little bit of safety. But there's a reason why you don't play a 4-position Silencer roaming around and trying to gank people. And we just saw the reason. Doesn't work too well.
I don't know, man. It's 3 now. You know, that have just been straight up feeds mostly. Like 4, even if you count the one on the woodsman who's just wandering around in the dark.
He'll be just getting so much more done if he just sat on this top lane and pulled for the Faceless Void. Void isn't really going to be pushing this tower anytime soon. He's got Midas. So his game plan clearly is not the fast game plan, and you're a core Void. Your plan is never play fast. Oh, Sunstrike will be dodged, although that looks like it was just on the mark. It will RP on the bottom lane Night Stalker and get the kill. with that shuriken. Over in the meantime, though, what a surprise! It's Silencer in the middle of nowhere still. At this point, he's got to know that there's vision here. Like, he's confirmed it at least 2 times. But he will be the trade for the Night Stalker. 914 gold on this Silencer. Still level 4. Just constantly wandering out into the lane and dying. But you know what? For Luccini, that's acceptable. As long as he gets level 6, as long as he's pressing that Global Silence button, they still have a mega farmed Quap. A really farmed Faceless Void. And they were able to take down a mid lane tier 1 in the meantime. Deny was actually denied by the Invoker, which kind of sucks. They're setting up for a bait, though, in bottom. Sword is playing pretty normally, and so far Midas Club have been answering him in the way you would expect Magnus to be answered in this bottom lane, just by a couple heroes rotating down. Jericho's in the area, just trying to leech some experience. Does have level 5.5, which is not too bad at all for 11 minutes in. You usually want to get the track at, you know, obviously ASAP, but by 15 minutes, and you're usually pretty decently happy as the bounty hunter.
I think he found it around level 12 last time. I think he found his level 6 at 12 minutes or so last time. Right?
Oh, Jamari's gonna blink onto the Invoker, and literally everyone was behind the Invoker in the meantime. So they will crush the Quap as she gets a little bit too aggressive there. Time Walk grabbed by the Rubik now. He has a blink spell, which is deceptively powerful on a hero like Rubik. So yeah, that's a little bit of over-aggression coming out there from Quap. Just getting baited once again by that tasty Invoker kill. Was not a tasty Invoker kill at all. With 1100 HP, I'm not even sure if Quap can solo kill the Invoker at this stage. It's going to be close at any rate. But they have a Chronosphere, and it looks like they may get their dues after all, but Rubik does have Spell Steal once again. Chrono will be stolen if he wants it. Right now, he will just look for the Telekinesis, will grab the Chronosphere. He's going to drop it onto a handful of heroes. Now the Faceless Void doesn't affect him. He's going to dive in with Hand of Midas attack speed, looking for a couple more bashes. There's the Sonic Wave onto 3. Getting Jamari a double kill. Shaker gets bashed. Will be brought down. Now the Night Stalker on the run. I don't think they have enough catch for him. Blink forward. They do have not another dagger. The Faceless Void can't really chase here, so that's going to be the end of it. But that's still going to be a massive 3-for-0 exchange as Global Silence is committed. Silencer now up to 10 intelligence swing.
Yeah, man, that extra intelligence is really going to get back in the game. Like, he really needed, like, something. And, I mean, it's pretty much free for him. That's the great thing about Silencer. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to get those intelligence stacks.
Sunstrike, Jericho will stick around for a shuriken. May have been able to run out of that, but either way, is going to fall. Does have his track, though. Again, at a pretty decent time. It's going to be lined up pretty well with the Blink Dagger on the Magnus. He's not too far away from that one either. Just a couple more creeps in this bottom wave. Shockwave will be stolen. That does a lot of damage. Yeah, you gotta respect the Rubik. Immediately he's gonna skewer out. Sword does not want to die. Oh, he's gonna dodge a Sunstrike. His teleport home is still short of his Blink Dagger, but at this point, full health, full mana is all but guaranteed to get that item very soon. So Luccini do have their farm game all planned out right now. Orchid is the only part that's really missing here for the Quap in order to buy a little bit more space for the Void. Of course, the Global Silence cooldown, but for the Midas side, they're not
missing by much though.
Either.
It's coming. The Orchid's just about finished, I think.
Well, they'll find Sonic. It's only a Silencer and a Bounty Hunter. Can they kill off a Rubik? Support battle of the century right here. In the meantime, there's a real fight going on as they do Chronosphere 2 heroes. Sven, already very low, will be dropped. And now the right clicks onto the Invoker. None too healthy either. Jamari is kind of low on mana. Will Echo Slam the Faceless Void. Time Walk out is a possibility. No. Can't quite survive. Fissure onto the Queen of Pain. Not going to kill her off. She does blink over. And now here comes Jericho as well as the Silencer. But there's a Night Stalker here at full HP. You do not want to touch that, man. He'll just get immediately killed off. As the Silencer will TP out. It's going to be a 2 for 3 exchange. Still a lot of gold swing in favor of Luccini. But that was much closer to being a disaster for Midas Club. If there was just a little bit of extra health there on the Void, a Time Walk would have nullified that Echo Slam. Then it's all just bad, man.
Dire's structures.
Yeah, I think they played the best out of it. Luccini, I think, got the best out of it, out of the situation. Once they realised that there was 3 heroes, Earth Spirit, not the Earth Spirit, the Earthshaker coming in from behind there with the Echo Slam. I don't think they were quite ready for that, and that's basically where they paid the price for still being there.
They are looking to continue this aggro though. Magnus with the RP blink, and of course that skewer isn't quite maxed out in the Empower just yet. He's gonna kind of leave the Faceless Void to his own devices. They've effectively locked down this bottom half of the map, forcing everyone else towards the north. Invoker does have that Hand of Midas, so still able to get that cash, still able to get that farm. Sven, though, does need a little bit more space to get his own farm. As powerful as Echo Saber, Mask of Madness are, they are not going to do all that much up against RP and Chronosphere, so he definitely does need that initiation, at least on the team. Shaker does have a Blink Dagger, actually, so he will be able to get that off. He's going to quickly blink away from that dagger. Orchid Silence is one thing, but it does not mute items. The Shaker will survive that encounter, but still, tower push up and toward top lane will get them Radiant. The tier 1 tower, they still have to deal with this Faceless Void down bottom. With nighttime coming, there are a couple heroes rotating in. They will see the TP of the Sven. Now the Silence onto the Faceless Void. Where's the Global? Not committed just yet, as the Rubik is going to steal Invis. This is really, really dangerous. Do they have any True Sight? There's really no reason why they should, except for killing off observers. Blink Echo is going to be very, very hard to deal with for Luccini. At least a Silencer. Just position yourself defensively and jam that Global Silence button if that happens. Seems like it's not going to happen. Free tier 2. Bot's actually sticking around here. They should know that there's invisibility on this Rubik. And the smoke will be broken on a Sven, but he was in the trees, so they don't see him. Bop will blink away from the Rubik, so that smoke was unfortunately just off the mark. Mistimed by about half a second. So we can see this map control for Luccini starting to push in towards the Midas base. They are losing room, and with RP, Skewer, and Chronosphere, it is very, very difficult to answer a decent team fight unless your Earthshaker's in actually the perfect position, or if you find one of those heroes beforehand. Right now, those heroes are going to go in towards Roche, and well, we'll see if Midas can do anything about this. Nighttime, 2 minutes away, or I guess 1 minute away with his ultimate. Night Stalker is pretty useless right now. They can't contest this.
I mean, they have all their ults up, except for Night Stalker.
Rubik is wandering in. And there's Massive Madness on the Faceless Void. The Aegis is snatched by the Rubik. Dire do take Roshan. Rubik, though, will get tracked and brought down. And he's not going to survive again. He's going to get skewered even for some reason. I'm not really sure if that was necessary. But I said, I guess they know that Rubik has Invis. I guess they didn't. Otherwise, there's no way in hell you make that play without sentries.
Well, smoke to follow up now. They still want to get something despite the disaster loss there.
They found the Invoker. Blink RP. That wasn't a turnaround RP. Skewer back into really no man's land. Tornado is going to... He just walks into the Chronosphere. Oh my god. Global Silence is there as well. Shaker cannot even finish his cast. Will finally get the stun off, but the Shockwave sneaks in before. And that is going to be a nice 2-kill for Luccini's side. This Mask of Madness Faceless Void does a serious amount of damage with that Empower. Not traditionally a super aggressive one-position hero, but hey, if you get the Chronosphere to land on 2 like that, you're going to be pretty happy. Bottom lane, Sven will TP out, keep himself alive. Blink Dagger almost on the way, but Luccini, despite botching that Roche attempt, still doing really well for themselves.
Yeah, they managed to like turn it into something, you know, they shouldn't have been able to. You know, it should be back to where they were before the Roche, but they don't. They take the Invoker kill, nice and easy. Drop that here, take the tower. I'm not sure. Maybe they could have put a little bit more pressure on, you know, the high ground. But I think they just want to just back it off, take out the top tier 3 again. Maybe wait for the next Roche, or maybe wait for the next item on Void before they actually try for a high ground push.
Well, still these
Mindhunter's gonna
ultimates
go
were committed there for Luccini. That's 90 seconds, almost even, for them to be out of commission. This represents a pretty decent opening for Midas Club to maybe get something around the map, but you can see in this game state, Sven really doesn't have many places to farm, is really hurting his gold income, and Invoker with the Midas, all well and good, but you know what, you need some additional creep kills along with that Midas. You need to also not die. It's certainly very helpful when you're accruing
He's
gold.
getting close to his blink now though. Sven will get that blink online and KB. And we know what happens when Sven gets BKB and blink.
Also pretty close to proper nighttime. So they will have Night Stalker back in this game. Still a minute is left until Luccini are ready to really make something happen. So this is the time for Midas to really push their luck. And it doesn't seem like they're really comfortable right now simply because they don't have that Blink Dagger yet. Now they do. Immediate smoke. If that's the play, I like it. Do they have a smoke? It looks like their plan was to smoke immediately, but they just didn't have one. They all grouped up really close and then just awkwardly went their own direction.
I think it's on cooldown for the Meridian. Although the smoke was on quick buy for Night Stalker.
I don't think it's possible for casters to see the smoke anymore. That was a bug or something. Either way, it's no longer possible. So we just have to guess. Hey, they do have a smoke. There you go. Better late than never. And this is going to be going the wrong direction if they're looking for kills. And of course, they don't know that. Heroes presenting on the bottom lane. Just Faceless Void for right now.
Whoa.
Faceless Void is actually baiting. The Invoker is going to be able to tear down this tier 1 pretty rapidly with the Alacrity, with the Forge Spirits. The rest of the team wrapping around as they will run into kind of this Queen of Pain. With the Blink Stormhammer, they can kill her off. They have the telekinesis. Jamari tries to blink out, but it's not going to be time. Now the Sunstrike comes in. Global Silence is there, but it's way too late. Jamari down. Tower down as well. The rest of Luccini are rotating in from the south. Gotta watch out for that Chronosphere, but they do dust up Jericho. Shuriken will bounce through on a couple. They do end up catching the Invoker. RP onto 2. Chronosphere is placed, but the RP is stolen. And the Faceless Void is separated. Beautiful fissure from the Shaker. And now the RP return onto 2 with the Echo Slam there as well. It's a full 4-man for Midas Club with the last on the way out. Night Stalker can give this Silencer the chase down if he wasn't standing still doing nothing. That was some fissure from the Earthshaker, though, as Luccini still very greedily try to make a fight happen despite not having their quap.
Or any of their alts. Well, I mean, they did actually use
they
both their
botched
alts on
all
the
their
top.
ults mostly.
But yeah, but between the two of them, they can't do anything. Like, on a Sven who's got draw strength, they need that alt scream on top to finish him off in the chrono.
That was, I mean, I guess we could call that a fight with no global silence. That was a global silence, no quap. If you see your RP stolen and you have global silence, it's still not a big deal. You just wait till the Chronosphere ends, drop the global silence, and then hopefully get out or get some kills, kill off that hero.
Global silence.
Yeah, it's not quite going to happen the way Luccini would have liked it. So a huge team fight for Midas. And the Rubik does survive to fight another day, and of course he does preserve that RP. We'll be able to probably get another one off if he runs into a target. Targets in the area are there, though the Sven is pushing forward kind of aggressively by himself. Does get tracked. Blink forward to the high ground. Jericho trying to juke into the trees. Yaki does have vision right about never. The Urn is going to be canceling that blink, and the heroes are rotating in for Luccini. They do not have the global silence yet. They are going to get the skewer back onto the Rubik, take off the enemy's RP, and also catch the Sven with everybody. He's just going to get bashed to death. That's going to be yeah, Midas sticking around for a little bit too long, chasing after that bounty.
Alright, now it's 16 seconds till daytime. Night Stalker's gonna be like winding down. He still has but definitely an opportunity now for push forward.
Jamari does have another Sonic Wave. There's another Chronosphere, RP, and Global Silence. They've got them all, Luccini. Even have a objective to fight over this top tier 2. Faces Void. He's gonna take a couple tower shots as Night Stalker does come in from the side. Jericho is gonna obs and see everybody. Night Stalker immediately dusts up and immediately flies over the edge, but he's all alone right now, so he can't do this by himself. Rest of Luccini's side, though, really awkwardly positioned because Midas Club are so spread out along this back line. Landing a good Chronosphere is going to be really tough. Bottom lane being pushed slightly by Forge Spirits, but not something they can't answer. Magnus does have Blink RP. Vision is there. The Chronosphere is dropped only onto one, though. There's a fissure. There's a deafening blast. The right clicks from the Quap can't quite do enough, and the Faceless Void needs to get the hell out of there. He will be able to time walk out, and now the Sven will drop. Will be traded for the Silencer. RP still not used just yet. They have a new target, though. It's the Night Stalker. Skewer back. Again, these skewers are really not necessary. Kind of running the risk of them not getting these kills, but still works out for them in the end. It's going to be a 2-for-1. They still have the RP, so if Midas Club... Oh, never mind. They got a third with the Sunstrike. But they still cannot defend this because of that RP, which is going to land onto everyone. There was no turnaround, though, which means Quap has got to wander in a little bit from too much distance. Will just end up killing Sword. Oh, no. This Magnus play is not at the caliber that you really need it to be. And that was, yeah, 3-man RP. And sometimes you get a little bit excited when you see those as a Magnus. But you got to consider where your allies are. You got to consider how far they are and how fast they can get to you. And if you do the turnaround RP, it might have just made the difference there. At least to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, definitely missed opportunity there. If you still had the skewer available, maybe you could have brought them back in. Yeah, you know, back towards Quap. But I mean, they'd already used the ults and stuff, so I mean, it's just a case of why even, you know, if you're not going to get the kills, you might as well just abandon the objective rather than sticking around.
Well, I think if the, like, in theory, if the Faceless Void and Magnus were there right next to each other, then land an RP like that and just have Faceless Void start cleaving through, you at least get one of them. It's likely you get all of them. So, like, they could definitely make something happen there with the heroes that they had there and the cooldowns that they had, but just the placement of that RP, the lack of skewer, the lack of, I guess, initiation range from the Faceless Void. You can't expect him to have that type of initiation range, at least not yet. I mean, that play was a good play, but just at the wrong time. They have another Chronosphere, though. They have another Global Silence in 1 second. There it is. Sonic Wave in 8, so RP is definitely a lower cooldown here, though. The Faceless Void is going to get Echo Slammed. He does have a lot of backup here. Unfortunately, no RP. They will skewer 2 of them back. This time, Sword is going to give the Faceless Void a lot of safety. Now chasing forward, looking for the Shaker, looking for the Invoker. Chronosphere, no. Oh, okay. We're going to pretend that Chronosphere was used to get the kill on a Shaker, and now they're also going to get the kill on the Night Stalker. We're going to pretend that that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what I saw, man.
Yeah, I didn't... they also used Global Silence for that, though. That was... Not sure if that was necessarily needed. But hey, Chronosphere for 2. Not bad.
And they still have Scream, obviously, as well. Which is probably the saving grace here.
Well,
And
looking for a
Magnus
third,
is
though.
RP
Yaki
up once he's respawned.
in the jungle, now purged, and there's going to be a lot of bashes here. Rubik can give them a little bit of aid, as the Stormhammer is going to cut through that Linken's. He's going to jump right over the Tornado, but the Eul Scepter will still stick him in place, and now he's out of mana, so very close to being a kill. Not quite going to do it just yet, although they're looking at the Invoker. I don't think they could chase this down. Quap is still on top lane, still pushing in, and Invoker has no TP. So they're just going to start chasing him down forever. Deafening Blast, Meteor does quite a bit of damage. Lincoln Sphere, though, preventing the Cold Snap, as the Faceless Void is going to take a lot of right clicks and will go down. RP going to catch only onto the Invoker, but he's protected by all the creeps that were also caught in the RP. Skewer now onto the Sven will get the kill there, but now here comes a Sonic Wave and the Queen of Pain. The fun is over. She'll clean up here. Off in the back, it's the Silencer chased out by the Night Stalker. Should be fine. That was an absolute mess, but Luccini do end up with enough of the heroes that they need to win that fight, and do end up winning that engagement. Perhaps just going a little bit too far in. Could have preserved their Faceless Void very easily, but still works out pretty well for them in the end.
I mean, they get the top tower as well from the Radiant at the same time, just from the creep wave pushing.
Quap grabs Hyperstone. AC, pretty darn good up against Sven and Invoker. Although, I mean, it's good for pushing as well. I think Shiva's guard might be slightly superior here. Well, maybe never mind. If you have Empower, maybe AC beats out Shiva's just narrowly. By the way, I mean, bottom line, she does a crap ton of damage with right clicks. Not to mention the Sonic Wave and spell casts. Her mobility, her chasing power, her Orchid. This Queen of Pain's a real issue for the Midas Club to deal with. And Faceless Void is not too far behind in threat level. Though he has a lot more gold tied up in just gold and Midas. He can still do some serious DPS. He almost straight soloed the Sven. Jericho's going to be spotted by Valentine, who does have a gem. Sunstrike will be dodged by a Force Staff. But now Luccini know that there is a gem on the field, and they will just try to go for Roche. It's so weird to see them going for Roche like this after just so cautiously approaching it last game. But they have all their ultimates soon. 15 seconds, 40 seconds on the Queen of Pain. And Faceless Void can handle this guy by himself. It's not the fastest, but he does have enough cover. God damn it. The pauses every single time.
When Sword pauses the game at 3:22 GMT.
Well, Sven still farming for that BKB, the rest of his squad. They do have a Yule Scepter now up in the Invoker. Very useful item to get rid of that Lincoln Sphere, Lincoln Spheres of Faceless Void in the co-op.
He has the BKB, man. He's got everything +3. I mean, he's like, I don't know, this camp short of it. But yeah, I mean, it's coming online, so that's gonna be big, man. I think that really is we're gonna see some plays coming out. And then nighttime, got a minute and a half of nighttime left. So maybe 3 minutes, 2.5 to 2:45. The Night Stalker. I mean, they could definitely make a smoke play. I don't know if they can contest the Roche though. They definitely know what's happening though, right? They did the Sunstrike, you know?
I don't think they've scouted it. So I don't think they know about this. I mean, they should figure it out pretty soon. But the fact of the matter is that Sven doesn't have BKB right now. And if they're going to contest... Oh, there's a Sunstrike. There it is. Now they know what's going on. He doesn't have the BKB on his hero right now, though it is coming out to him. It's still not going to be all that useful versus the RP, Chrono, and Sonic Wave. So it is certainly going to have to be a timing-based pop there to get rid of the Global Silence. Faceless Void, speaking of, is going to get silenced himself. Tornado onto 2 as the Meteor is going to be dodged once again. Queen of Pain is right on top of the Invoker now, who needs help. They do track him up, but the Sven's going to jump in. God's Strength with the Echo Slam, Chain Stun onto Jimari. They land a really nice RP. Where's the follow-up, though? They're going to drag him back into a Chronosphere and the Cleave. There is no Cleave on the Faceless Void. He's just got to hit them one at a time. He did pick up the Aegis in the meantime, as well as the Cheese, but the Sven still cleaving through is going to take down 2 at the exact same time. Queen of Pain buying back now, jumping him towards the Sven. There's not enough control here for this Quap. She is going to back up to the high ground. Faceless Void is now back. And then once again, try to go for the Sven, depletes the mana pool, but the Fissure can give him a little bit more space. Still, there's Sonic Wave. There it is, and that will clean house. Double kill for Jimari. And ultimately, that's a 5 for 4 if you count the Aegis, I believe, is the correct total. But that is, of course, going to be inflated by the tracks. Jericho did survive that entire fight, and BKB was bought out there. So Sven does not have the buyback. Shaker can stall this with a Fissure Wall.
Oh, he has it now. He has it now. Sven has buyback now.
Sven has buyout. So does the Rubik. But the Sven doesn't have God's Strength, so even if he does come back, what can he really do here? Jimari did spend a buyback himself. Certainly was worth it in the end to clean up the rest of the heroes. Oh, Shaker. He has a Force Staff here. If he gets bashed, it's not going to matter. Time Dilation onto 3 abilities, and he's just going to go down. He just bought back. Oh, and Sonic is not too safe either. These tier 4s are not going to help you, my friend. Full wipe again, as everyone else from Midas is going to take a seat. Invoker Night Stalker once again trying to make something happen. They do land the Crippling Fear on the Queen of Pain. She does have an Orchid of her own. As the Faceless Void is going to prep that Cheese in his inventory. Deafening Blast is there. He's going to Time Walk that damage off. Still has the Cheese. Going to pop it now, looking straight for the Invoker. Any more teamfight abilities? Not quite just yet, but the Sven's going to come in with the God Strike, looking for a target. Jumps in towards Jimari. Force Staff out. He will get into safety as the Faceless Void does get caught with the hammer. He's going to get Force Staff over the racks, but still the damage is coming through, and he will take a spill once again, as everyone else just has to leave. Silencer going to try to gun down the racks. Not going to have enough damage for that. And Luccini stick around for way too long. end up getting punished. Now Invoker's going to chase forward. He does have track on him. He does not have true sight for this Magnus though, so he can't actually get this kill. He'll chase forward. He did get a short glimpse, I think, of the bounty hunter there. Perhaps. But ultimately, that's going to be an incredibly narrow defense from the Midas Club side, but they still hold their racks.
I mean, yeah, well done on managing to keep them out. That was racks for sure. Like, if they had played that any other way.
Oh, Magnus, blind tornado is going to get caught, though there is still no true sight here. True sight lagging just a couple of feet behind them, so no dust in range. Dust might have been in range, just on the very, very edge. But either way, Faceless Void down for 25 with no buyback. They will have the rest of their big ults, though. And it seems like Midas are not super eager to push this issue with such a small window and no God Strength up just yet. It's going to return. A little bit too late to be useful, though. Unless Luccini get really stupid and start pushing out kind of haphazardly.
I mean, it just shows the power of the God Strength. He was able to come back in there, jump in and take out 2 heroes, and then before that, previously when they caught him out in the Chronosphere, they just didn't have the damage to take him down.
Certainly a messy engagement in that Roshan River. The cleave was not up on the Faceless Void. Magnus got caught in the Chronosphere as well. And now the big wraparound. If Midas Club end up losing this, they do have 2 buybacks. There are 2 buybacks on the Dire as well, kind of on the wrong heroes. Faceless Void still short on the gold. Jericho is in the back, and oh, what? How did that smoke come in range? That didn't look like it was anywhere near the bounty hunter. But either way, Night Stalker is going to lose his smoke coverage, which is going to blow this gank attempt. He's still going to try to fly away. There is a shuriken. It's going to cancel his TP. He's dead. That was so far away from the bounty. Like, bounty was here, and Night Stalker got revealed here. Like, really? Okay. Okay, game.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened there. Whether it was an LOS issue or something.
It just seemed like he was way too far away to lose that cover, but he lost it, and that's bad, that's one thing, but he also lost it right when the creep wave was coming in, so he was immediately spotted, and then Luccini get in position, and they didn't spend any ultimates to kill off that Night Stalker. Not the biggest pick off in the world, just down for another 20 seconds, but they are pushing now on 2 fronts. Invoker's trying to shove in the bottom lane, try to apply some pressure back towards Luccini. Luccini have the Chronosphere, they have the Global Silence. Maybe not the end-all anymore, as BKB is up on the Sven. But still the Silencer, still the Rubik. They don't have any Global Silence answers. And in the meantime, they'll just start cleaning up these side objectives. Shrines, pretty easy to take. And get a couple more items up. Quap, still no buyback for another 3 minutes. Might as well pick up that Mjolnir.
Looks like Sven's gonna go for the Daedalus over the Bloodthorn.
I'm not sure if I like that decision. I mean, there's a chance you just... No, I mean, you're going up against a Quap and a Faceless Void. Even if you don't build a Bloodthorn, even if you just end up getting an Orchid, like, yeah, you may run it into the enemy Lincoln Sphere, but at least that lets your Stormhammer land.
Right?
I'm pretty sure Bloodthorn is just the correct item here.
And it forces the Void to build a Manta instead of a Butterfly.
And he does have a BKB and a Lincoln Sphere.
I know, he's got all the answers.
Yeah, Quap does not though, so just slap that Soul Burn or whatever it's called on... God, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. I just looked it up yesterday. Just put it on her and then she's...
Soul Burn.
No, that's Orchid.
Oh, it gets a different name.
Oh, that's not how you do it. What was it called?
Soul Rend.
Oh,
that
yeah,
sounds
I
much
just looked
cooler,
it up
man.
yesterday,
That sounds much cooler.
actually. And I forgot already. And I said when I looked it up, I'm not going to forget it, and then I forgot it. And that's a great story. Night Stalker does have a TP, is going to see 2 targets. Backup, though, is non-existent for him, so he's just going to chill out in the trees for a little while. His Faceless Void is going to do so much damage. he already is doing a lot of damage, and soon he's going to have the ability to initiate at his leisure with the additional time walk range. Kind of mitigating the need for that Blink Dagger. Jericho, Aghanim Scepter is going to be built on him. That's going to mean that the Shuriken toss is going to bounce a little bit more. I've never seen this work. I've seen a lot of people build it, and it just doesn't matter because the game's like already over. It's like, hey, I have a lot of gold. What am I going to build? Well, let's just get the Shuriken. But to actually get this item seriously, I've never seen.
With a Magnus.
Yeah, that could be the reason why. But still, like, you're filthy rich. Is it better to get a Solar Crest?
I mean, he has a Lotus Orb already. Like, he could have gone for Guardian Greaves, I guess.
Halberd for Sven. That's so easily better than Aghanim's, right?
Yeah, I'm with you on this, man. I'm with you on this.
Oh, Chronosphere on the side. Will catch the Invoker, and now this Sven's gonna jump right in. He's gonna get silenced though as he pops the BKB a little bit too early. Then now he's going to just be absolutely crushed by the right clicks. That's gonna prompt 2 buyouts. The RP though is still here, so you gotta respect Sword. They will jump in, take 2 kills and buybacks, and then back off safely with everyone. Surgical execution this time for Luccini. They can now go back up and perhaps wait for the next Roche. They don't exactly know when it's going to respawn. Get this butterfly. No, not butterfly. That is an MKB on this Faceless Void. Is there any... There is evasion, kind of. Mischance, whatever you want to call it, on the Night Stalker. So that is
I don't know if it warrants MKB though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he figures... Well, butterfly up against Sven. Does Sven have a... Okay, here, I think this is what he's thinking, is that Butterfly's going to give me damage. I'm getting Butterfly 4 damage. But Sven has the Chrysalis. So he's going to go for Bloodthorn, so my evasion's going to be not useful. So I may as well go for some other damage item. But Sven's not going for Bloodthorn. He's going for Daedalus, which we still agree is not...
Yasha or Mjolnir. Now is this right? Now Faceless Void is thinking, no, I've got this. I'm going to get an Orchid.
I don't know what's happening here, but it's still going to work out pretty well for Faceless Void. I mean, it's still a fat damage item. The only problem with MKB compared to something like that Butterfly, or I guess not problem, but downside, is that, yeah, you can hit through the shine of the Solar Crest, through this Crippling Fear. That's quite nice. You don't get additional damage based off of the Empower from the MKB. Because you do get that from the Butterfly, and oh, they're going to jump in on the Quap. Chronosphere in the back, a little bit slow. Will only catch the Invoker, and they've already lost the Quap. Now Bounty Hunter on the run out from Yaki, looking for the RP. Catches on 2, and now here comes the Cleave from the Faceless Void. Will clean up the Sven and the Invoker. That's game already. They don't have buybacks on those heroes. GG is called as Midas will get crushed here in this last team fight. Faceless Void core getting thrown every which way. That wasn't even the best Chronosphere possible. Could have easily landed it onto an additional hero. But
that was a terrible Chronosphere. What are you talking about? I can't even...
It caught the Invoker, it killed the Invoker. Much like the mid lane fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the story of the game though, isn't it? That basically they've managed to get these core kills, and just... We never saw Midas come online in the same way that they were able to do in the previous game, sadly. And obviously, Luccini actually managed to get it together a bit more. There was a lot less, mistakes there. There were still a couple that were pretty glaring, but on balance, they managed to hold it together and just get that Void so strong.
And the biggest problem I think was Midas couldn't start fights effectively. Like when they can blink in and Echo Slam someone, start chain stunning, get the silences off on whoever they want. Yeah, they're feeling pretty comfortable, but the last like 2 or 3 fights at least were Chronosphere fights, where just the Faceless Void jumps in and grabs someone with the bubble, and then that's it. You're at 4v5, you can't initiate anymore. So just goes to show initiation and ease of execution in your initiation is going to be super important when drafting, and Midas just didn't have that answer, or just couldn't find their angle, in which case either way is going to mean that they are currently out here. The ESL One Hamburg South America qualifiers. This is only day 1, guys. We had a couple of games being played at the same time today, so there are going to be a couple of results that we don't quite know about, but we have a couple of good games coming up tomorrow. These games are going to be running for the next 4 days, I believe, maybe 5 days if I miscounted, which is definitely possible. But if you guys enjoy the cast, be sure to hit that follow button. This is on kind of an obscure Join Dota ESL channel, so you definitely want to get those notifications. You can follow us on Twitter as well. For myself, it's at Mike Loris. For my co-caster, it's at General Jevicus. Jeevicus. Do you have any final words before we shut this down?
No, thanks for having me. It was some pretty interesting Dota, I'll say. Not the most magnificent plays, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty keen to see how things go tomorrow when the tier 1 teams face off against the guys that have qualified today. I think we'll see a lot more gritty Dota tomorrow.
I get to watch DCSA tomorrow. Fun, fun, fun. Guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. GG.